Have you ever experienced a profound state of mind while writing a code for a complex requirement? Completely losing track of time, you become fully immersed into the task, and when you finally resurfaced, you realized you are not only written the intricate code but also experienced a sense of satisfaction. You might have also come across the buzzword called flow state or in the zone. This is exactly it. The intriguing part is that you oftentimes encounter this experience, yet the process of entering to the zone remain elusive. In this video, we will focus on the how can we purposefully get into the flow state. Before we dive into the deeper understanding of our brain, the science behind it, let's start with basic overview. What are the prerequisites that must be fulfilled to attain a state of flow? Psychologist Mihai Csikszentmihalyi, hopefully I'm pronouncing the name correctly, identified 3 key conditions that need to be met in order to achieve a flow state. These conditions create an optimal balance between challenge and skills, leading to a state of deep engagement and focused performance. Based on Mihai's decades of research, the first element is having a clear goal. Goal refers to specific task you are dealing with. It's essential to involve yourself into an activity that comes with well-defined objectives. The second factor is confidence. It's vital to strike the suitable balance between how challenging the task seems and your perceived skill. Achieving this balance cultivates confidence in your ability to complete the task. Feedback plays an important role. The task should provide a clear and immediate feedback, which then guides you to the next step. Having a clear goal assists in entering the flow state. However, confidence and feedbacks are what aid in maintaining the flow state, creating a loop which I call the flow loop. To grasp the concept of the flow state deeply, we should first get a basic understanding of how our brain works. Let me introduce the key players in our brain story: the villain and the hero. Here is the fun begins. The villain's role is to trigger and amplify emotions which can range from fear, anxiety to intense joy. This character consistently seeks chances to influence your brain activity both positively and negatively, often leading to an impaired judgment. Despite its small size, it wields a significant impact on our brain, and it is called amygdala. Now let's meet our hero. The characters assist you in processing information, making decisions, planning, and setting goals. Its goal is to create a sense of security and control, working to keep your life focused and enjoyable, and it is called the prefrontal cortex. In the movie, the hero's role becomes important when there is a villain around. The villain's presence creates the perfect backdrop for the hero to shine. Sometimes villains set a trap, causing the hero to stumble, but the hero quickly recovers and fights back. During the flow state, amygdalas can provide enough emotional arousal which helps the hero to enhance focus. At the same time, the prefrontal cortex helps us stay super focused on our task and minimize distractions. The prefrontal cortex also plays with our sense of time, so it might feel like time is flying by. Both parts of the brain try to overpower each other, and they create a perfect blend of emotional state and deep state, allowing us to fully engage into the activity. This teamwork between the brain's components makes the flow state a deeply absorbing and enjoyable experience. Just like a movie, when there is a perfect balance between hero and villain, we can fully enjoy and become absorbed in the story. Now that we understand the factors that creates a favorable flow state and how the hero and villain collaborates to set the stage, let's tackle the question: how can we purposefully get into the flow state? As we now know, a clear goal is essential to get into the flow state. To put it simply, this means understanding the task you intend to work on and having a clear picture of the desired outcome. It is similar to how movies sometimes show a future events, and as the movie progresses, you mentally anticipated what the next step will be. Similarly, when you visualize the end result of your task, your brain begins to explore various approaches to solve the challenges. Each problem-solving steps generates a new optimal pathways for the task, a concept known as anticipatory thinking. However, the important things to remember is that you don't have to exploit it. As human, our minds are naturally wired to establish neural connection in order to discover solutions. Let's put this to a test now. Imagine you are planning a summer trip and you need some new beach wears. Your mind suggests visiting a shopping mall. Using your knowledge of the area, past experience in the mall, and considering various factors, your mind signals out a specific mall. In your thought, you can visualize different routes to the mall and you choose the most suitable one. You identify the first practical steps and begin your journey to the mall. Observe how this entire process unfolds in your mind until you decide on the initial step. Depending on our experience and knowledge of the subject, the first step could either lead us straight to our goal or set us on a path that involves several small steps before reaching in a solution. This brings us to our 5-step process to get into the flow state. Number 1, identify the need. Number 2, clear goal. Number 3, anticipatory thinking. Number 4, choose the first step. Number 5, begins the journey. Few days before, I was working on enhancing an error logging functionality. These functions purpose is to display logs also with error stacks in a well-structured manner. An error stack provides a detailed view of the files and line number where functions are called and errors are triggered. This helps in identifying and resolving problems in software applications. Lately, we have been facing prolonged debugging sessions due to logs not accurately pinpointing the source of the error. Our current logging system uses the Winston Logger module, a Node.js library designed for advanced logging. Generally, I used its example syntax without fully comprehending how its functionality or the other capability it offers. Consequently, I am uncertain about how to tackle my issue. Let's see how I use the 5-step process to clear goal and beyond. So, first let's identify our need. Our need is to enhance the debuggability process by including more information about the issue. Secondly, what is our clear goal? To add an error stack with line number to each files where the error originates. Then thirdly, if you think about what could be the possible path to take, that's where anticipatory thinking is coming. I think I can attempt a trial and error, conduct a Google search, reading the Winston Slugger documents, choosing my first step. I opted for the path 2. A swift Google search finding the solution here would be effective, bypassing the trial and error or in-depth document reading, beginning the journey. I opened my browser and typed the question. Simple. Let's relate the flow loop we discussed earlier into our current situation. I have followed the 5-step process to set a goal and identify the next step to work on. Then it comes down to how confident I felt about my approach. I am confident if this method didn't yield result, I know I could explore alternative solutions. This revolves around comparing the perceived complexity of the task to my skills. Consider it a way to gauge our confidence in the step we take. Confidence is crucial in our achieving our goal. Moving on to the feedback. After about 10 minutes of searching on Google, I didn't come across any clear solution. This feedback indicates that my initial search didn't yield any result. So I returned to the goal setting phase and resume anticipatory thinking. Since my need and goals remain same, deciding on the next move, I opt to stay on the same path for another 5 to 10 minutes before considering an alternative route. To my surprise, I stumbled upon a GitHub issue that precisely addressed my query. Now that I have found a solution, let's revisit anticipatory thinking. I proceed to test it in my code. Feeling quite confident, I gave it a shot and to my delight, it worked. This bot about a sense of accomplishment and feeling of happiness. Our hero prefers clarity. It engages the working memory to sift through the solution stored in your long-term memory. When a clear sense emerges, it internally slows down the processing of other information, filtering out unnecessary stimuli. Even if your initial path choice isn't spot on, trust your brain and begin the journey. It will discover the route that lead to deep immersion. When faced with a challenging task and possessing the necessary skills to tackle it, a harmonious chemical flow is triggered within your mind, facilitating the transition into this state. In order to enter into the flow state, having a fundamental technical skill is essential. Without these skills, achieving the flow state becoming challenging, as your confidence might be lower. Hence, learning technical skill is a crucial to accessing the flow state. You should be familiar with the three-way reinforcement method rooted in brain science: chunking, mind mapping, and interleaved practice. To explore this topic further, consider watching my video on the screen right now. Until next time, happy productive coding. See you in the next video.